Good morning from Sevierville, Tennessee. It's so wild being here and like seeing the Smoky Mountains because it kind of feels like coming home. Like these are the first mountains that really made me fall in love with mountains. And if you know me at all, you know I love mountains. So I'm really excited to go hiking today. That is all for now. I kind of forgot how much of an artificial wonderland this place is. But it is bringing back a lot of childhood memories. I got myself instead of the sign that said, "Welcome to the Great Smoky Mountains Parkway." Welcome home, Jordan! Woo! It really does. This is so familiar. So familiar, like as familiar as my own blood relatives. It is time to drive to the trailhead. I got my parking pass, and then when we get to the trailhead, I will get in more appropriate clothing because it's a little chilly. So I didn't get here early enough, but that's okay. I found a little pull-off spot, and I'm just gonna walk down to the trailhead, and I think it's gonna be fine. It's only gonna add like a mile round trip to the whole thing, and that's fine. Southeast is densely populated, and I don't like it. Leave my woods alone. Let me be here alone. Before we can go, I need a wardrobe change, and I need to pack my little running backpack. Because, 12 miles. I'm gonna get hungry. This is like my version of a fortune cookie. Is it gonna be a good day? Did Jordan have a really hard time putting contacts in today? Probably gonna be a bad day. I'm just kidding. I make my own day. Hi, are you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. I guess they call this trail the most popular trail in the park for a reason. Oh well, we got here. I'm just so excited to be here. I'm not even running, I'm just like taking videos. Already having to ditch layers. It's a beautiful morning though. Super grateful to be here. And another layer bites the dust. Woo! This trail is so dreamy. Someone commented on how big my smile was, and I thought that was funny. Heaven is a Jordan on a mountain. Wow. Literally the only thing I keep thinking is that these videos and these photos don't do this justice even a little bit. I was just told by a passerby, a 13-year-old boy, that I did a good job choosing to be up here today, because apparently he couldn't see anything yesterday. Okay, I had to stop running for a second. I'm running down, and I just had, in very quick succession, a cringe moment, a cute moment, and a kind moment. The cringe moment is that this woman passed me and said some sort of comment about like, oh, I think I said, have a good day or whatever, and they were like, oh, I hope it is. And I was like, it's worth it. And then as I ran away, I was like, ooh, you made so many assumptions, Jordan. You don't know that person could have done this trail a bajillion times, and you just told them it's worth it, acting like you're some sort of superior being. Ew, cringe. 2, cute moment. This guy, very cute man, very cute round man with a beard, paused so that I could pass and was like, did you run this thing up too? And I was like, well, I mean, I tried to run it up. I ran up some of it, and he laughed, and his person that he was with laughed, and I laughed, and that was very cute. And then a very kind moment was as I passed, this woman was like, you're such a badass. And that was very sweet. This is me after trail running. The Alum Cave Trail to Mount LeConte. Y'all, this is the longest trail run I've ever done. Woo! Good morning from Asheville. I've made it! We're here! Woo! I've been here fully for 1 day, and today's the second day. And it's been a weird adjustment. I feel like I struggle with change. And that always makes pivoting more challenging. There's been a lot of crying about missing home and missing the road, but also a lot of excitement and gratitude for being here with friends and people I love. So, you know, as always, it's a little bit of everything all of the time. Yeah, now that I'm here, I have a lot of like things that I want to do to kind of upgrade the van, things I learned along the drive, ways that I want to do a little differently. I'm parked in my best friend's driveway. It's a little uneven, it's on a hill. So that kind of sucks, and I don't think will be a long-term situation, so I gotta figure that out. And I am slowly approaching the panic place of, okay, you gotta make money now, somehow. And I still don't have my massage license confirmed for North Carolina, so. It's a mess. I'm a mess. Nothing is new. I think I spent a lovely amount of time crocheting this morning, and now the sun is out. It has stopped raining, and I'm feeling motivated to go do things. Possibly take some photos of clothes and try and sell clothes. I don't know. We'll see if I can make money this way. Don't worry, I'm gonna try and get a job. Okay, it's hard for me to give up freedom of my time, okay? It's really hard. Freedom of my time is everything. But we live in a capitalist society, and I need to make some fucking money, so. Thank you, Past Jordan. That was a great segue into the story of how my winter van life adventure has ended up here in Asheville in a house that's not mine. Let's chat about it. Okay, I've been in Asheville for a few weeks now. And the transition from after my hike to arriving here was very hard. The first week was very hard. I cried a lot. I felt really sad and overwhelmed and anxious, and it was challenging. The financial stress of money started to really creep in and has continued to creep in, if I'm being honest. And it was just challenging. I'm not good with change. I'm not good with transitions. I know. I really feel like I spent my 20s learning about myself and learning how I want to move through the world, uncovering like certain peculiarities about my brain, certain, shall we say, juxtapositions where I really deeply crave routine and consistency and progression, but also need spontaneity and fun and change to stay excited. It's been a long journey of trying to learn the balance of those two things to satisfy this form that I am blessed to carry in this world. But I digress. Let us get into the story of how I ended up here. It's a short one, don't worry. So I arrived in Asheville to my best friend, love of my life, platonic life partner of mine, Rachel, who I started out living halvesies in her house and in my van. I was parking my van in her driveway. And that was just kind of how I was doing. I was like living in the van and also kind of using her house. And that was great. And it was fun. And honestly, I kind of miss it a little bit, but more transitions are coming. So we'll figure it out. We were getting ready to leave one day and her neighbor who moved to New York City was in town visiting, checking on her house here because she still owns a house here. And she and Rachel started a back and forth of just catching up for a bit. And then that transitioned into me being like, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm doing this, la, 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 la. And this very lovely, kind neighbor friend of Rachel's was like, hey, you could park in my house or park in my driveway or use my house like for electricity or whatever you need. What do we do, like a trade? You can use my house if you clean my house, because her house was kind of left in a messy disarray for her move out of state for a job. So I said, absolutely, I will clean your house so that I can use it, with no intention of actually like really using the house. More so I was just like, oh, it would be nice to have a place to put my sewing machine, a place to do crafts, just a little bit of extra room because Rachel lives in a 1,000 square foot house and, you know, the van is fucking fantastic, but I don't really have a heat source to make it comfortable for existing in consistently, like just because of the winter. Sleeping is great because I have my electric blanket, but like to exist, to hang out in the van is pretty challenging just because it's so cold and like my hands will get numb trying to crochet and stuff. So I was just excited for a little bit of extra space. I was like, cool, yeah, I can charge the Jackery. It'll be great. Well, I started freaking out about money. And anyone who knows Jordan knows that a financial stress comes with panic decisions. And I think I did a really good job this time of not making panic decisions, but I digress. I decided I was gonna take Rachel and her partner's clothes because they had a bunch of bags of like Goodwill clothes and I was gonna go through them and I was gonna sell them for some extra cash. I was gonna Poshmark, Depop, Facebook Marketplace to make some extra cash. That turned into me purchasing a $90 clothing rack, having piles of projects everywhere, and setting up a command center for my freelance editing gig. And I haven't sold one piece of clothing. And that has transitioned into me having a new small business where I sell curated thrift and upcycled clothes and handmade goods that I am hoping to be at a craft market in the spring. Oh, my intention with all of this had been to just make a little bit of extra cash while I've been waiting to get my North Carolina massage license so that I can build my practice here. I don't even have words for myself, honestly, at this point. But I will say that the financial stress of being nomadic is challenging. I am not someone who has the capacity to primarily work remotely. It takes a lot out of me to be on a computer for like 8 hours a day. I love editing and I'm super grateful to have a freelance editing client. That's primarily how I've been able to survive this transition period of like having a job, being on the road and having no job and waiting to be able to build my practice, my massage practice. So anybody who is aspiring for nomad life, this is how I did it, okay? I took out a personal loan for an investment that I was gonna make that wound up not happening, which I'm actually grateful for because then I had this personal loan as like a little safety net of cash for transition of my drive here and then existing here without making money. I think it wound up being like $5,000 of that loan. And I had a little bit of savings and I knew that I was gonna have this freelance client. And so I'm not safe or secure, but it was enough for me to feel confident that I could handle the transition and then be okay and make money moving forward. I think there's many ways to make the financial feasibility of living non-traditionally or living nomadically. There's tons of ways that you can do it. And I'd love to do another video about this, about all the things that I've tried, because a girl has tried a fucking lot. And so I would love to share like what has been a waste of time, what has actually been feasible, and just like some realistic views and ideas of what making money remotely and nomadic can be, just to give you more fodder for making your own choices. So that will be in another video. But the shorthand is what I have just articulated to you. And that's been enough for now. That's been enough for now. So yeah, here I am. I'm in Asheville. I'm doing the thing. Miss my van. I still have upgrades that I want to do to the van. But again, money is really tight right now. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to honestly be doing something that I've been talking about for a long time. I think that for me and my self-relationship, when I really follow through with what I say I'm gonna do, it makes me like trust myself. It makes me feel confident in myself, and it makes me feel more excited for the other things that I have going on and the other dreams and goals that I aspire to being. And this YouTube channel is kind of another example of that. Every video I have finished so far is not like Jordan's seal of approval, because the perfectionist in me would continue to work on these forever until I felt like really fucking solid about it, but then I would never finish a video. This is a practice in good enough. This is a practice in follow through, and I'm excited to keep going and seeing what happens. I really appreciate you guys for following along on the road trip journey. Van life videos are not over. I am still working on the van and going on van adventures and everything. But that is the end of the chapter for the winter van life adventure as we begin the new chapter of life in Asheville. The new year is upon us and the new year is coming. I do have one more video coming out for you guys before the end of the year. It is all about reflecting on the past year, on how I wound up pulling the trigger on this nomadic split life that I'm trying to cultivate. We'll talk more about it in the next video. For now, thank you for hanging out and being a witness to my journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!